Okay, how to get high limit credit cards with bad credit. Now, before we even start this, this is not cap, this is not BS. I'm dead ass telling you the path. Now, I need you to understand this. First off, just stay focused. Just stay focused. Like and subscribe. But I need y'all to understand that you're not going to walk into a bank or go online and apply with a 400 credit score and get a high limit card. When I say when I say high limit credit cards, I mean 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. I mean thousands of dollars in credit, maybe 20,000, right? But that's down the line. What I'm gonna show you could easily get is 100% can get you 5 bands on one card, $5,000. It can get you 10,000 on a card. It can get you more than that, depending on your situation. Everybody's situation is a little bit different, but I'm gonna give you the blueprint. And like I said, you're not gonna walk in with a 400 score, right? But if you have a 500 credit score or a really low credit score, I've never seen a 400 credit score, but if you do have a score that low, I'm gonna tell you what you need to do, and you can do this in a couple of months. It's always going to take a couple months, like 1 to 2 months at least. You can do it in less than 3 months. It's probably going to take most people 3 to 6 months, definitely less than 6 months. I know because I went from having a shitty 500 to something credit score, unable to get anything, to 6 months later getting high limit credit cards. And if you think that I'm bullshitting, if you, on the off chance that you don't believe me, I mean, I at the very least have that, right? And everybody on the planet, if you know what that card is, you know it's a high. It doesn't exist with less than 5 bands on it, so you know it's a high limit card. And I'm telling you, I had a shitty credit score before, like 6 months before that, and then I started getting higher limit cards. So I'm gonna tell y'all the method you need to go, the method you need to do, and why anybody can do it. Now, first off, I'm not gonna go over like a credit score, what makes a credit score, what makes your credit good or bad. I'm not going to do that because I did that in the video about how to fix your credit in 2025. So go watch that if you want to know what makes up your credit score, why your score is bad, etc. But what you need to know is if you have a low credit score, like under 600 or something like that, it's because of two reasons, one or two reasons. One, you have something negative on your credit report that's bringing it down, or two, you don't have any positives. And here's the thing, to start getting high limit cards, you don't even need to fix all the negatives. You can still have collections, you can still have bad things. There's some things you can have really, but we'll get to that when we get to more specific things. But basically, what we're going to do is we're going to start loading up your credit profile with positive accounts. Now, yes, this is going to cost you a little bit of money, but within 3 to 6 months, you're going to get 5,000, 10,000, $20, or 20,000. Not maybe not 20,000, but at least 5,000 or more credit cards. So you're going to get your money back 100%. Now, I want to tell you the first thing that I would do is, if you, this is assuming you have no credit history, like you, not credit history, but you've never really used credit cards like that before. So your credit score is fucked up. You don't really have a credit card. What I would say you do is get a Navy Federal Secure card. You don't have to do that, but I would do that because 6 months after that, you're guaranteed a high limit card and a much better score, blah, blah, blah. But you don't have to do that. That's not part of the method. But I would go to Navy Federal. With Navy Federal, you can always check if you're pre qualified for any of their cards. Navy Federal is known to give high limits, even if your credit score is low, if you have a relationship with them, right? So this is why I was saying I would do the secure card. Again, you don't have to, but if you do that secure card, put $200 down on the secure card, 6 months later, they'll give you the 200 back and they'll give you a $2,000 card. 3 months after having that 200 card, they'll increase the limit to like 500, 600. But 6 months they'll give you a $2,000 card and give you the $200 back. That's one way to do it, and it's guaranteed to work as long as you use the $200 secure card, right? Like don't ever report more than, I don't know, 10 to 20%, right? Don't ever you never want to report you never report more than 10%. But if it's a $200 card, you don't want to report more than $20 spending. Or if you do, then the next month less. You want to use the card, but not report a lot of balance when your statement comes around. But Navy Federal is one bank that you can go to for high limit cards, but like I said, if it was up to me, I would do the Navy Federal Secure card. But more importantly, you got to start building positive accounts. One positive account you can put on your credit is Ava. Ava is a good one. It's basically a digital credit card. It's not a real credit card. What they do is you pay them a monthly fee, whatever it is, like $10 or something, and then you can pay a bill through Ava. So they take the money from whatever card you use, and then they run the payment through them, but they take the money from your account, whatever it is, and then basically they report that, hey, you're making a monthly payment, and then they'll report that you have a credit limit of like $2,000 or $1,500. This will help boost your score. Another one is Stellarfi. It's a similar thing, right? They'll give you, see, these max prime limit 25,000 or whatever. They'll give you, I don't know what that means, but the 2,500 limit is the limit that they'll report to the credit bureaus. So it'll say you have a $2,500 card limit, even though you really don't. You're just doing a monthly payment on this app. So these type of accounts on your credit report will help bring up the score. And they report is like installment loans usually, not credit cards. Then we have rent reporters. There's a couple others. There's rent reporters. There's Rental Karma. You report rent to your credit, and it helps boost your score. It usually costs like $10 a month, maybe $7-8. If you want to backdate it, you can backdate it 2 years. That costs more. It might be like $40. What I would do if I was you, I would go to Rent Reporters, Rental Karma, BoomPay. Go to all of them. Report rent as many times as you can, and backdate it 2 years as many times as you can, because you're gonna add age to your credit profile, because you just opened like 3 new accounts that are like 2 years old, so you're gonna add an older average age, and then you're gonna add payment history. All of this shit is gonna boost the fuck out of your score. If your score was like 500, you're probably gonna go up 70 points, 100 points. Like, your score is gonna shoot up a lot. And then once you have 2 years of on-time payments reporting from Rent Reporters, Rental Karma, like all of these, and then you have monthly installment loan payments that you're paying off, and then let's say you have the secure card monthly that you're paying off. After a few months, that 1 or 2 collections you have, it doesn't look as bad. It's one thing to have a collection that's like the only thing on your profile. It's another thing to have a collection and it's like that, but I also have 10 other things that I'm paying off on time. These things are gonna shoot your score up within 30 days. All of these things are gonna fucking positively affect your credit score and your credit profile. It's gonna make your profile like way healthier. So within the next 30 days of you know doing all these shits, your credit score is gonna go up. The secure card is gonna take more time to boost your score, but all the other accounts, they will help you for sure. And if you had a credit card that's like maxed out or something, some of these will give you utilization that'll help. So once you've done some things like this, one thing I will say is, if you have really bad debt to income, like if you have a shit ton of student loans and your income's not that high, then some of these cards won't work great for you, but we will get to the ones that will. First, I'm gonna start with the Apple Card. The Apple Card is known for giving high ass limits, and according to Apple themselves, if your score is lower than a 600, they might be unable to approve you. So their barrier to entry is 600. Now, 600 probably ain't gonna do it, but you can get approved with 600. But if you want a higher limit and you want them to trust you a little bit more, I would say have at least a 650, 660. You don't need a 680, 700 to get an Apple Card. No. One issue I will say with the Apple Card is they care a lot about debt to income. So again, if you have a lot of student loans, if your debt to income is bad, but you can get the Apple Card with collections on your credit report with like negatives, as long as you don't have too many and you haven't opened many credit cards recently. Again, don't apply for credit. If you're gonna apply for credit, wait 3 months in between. So if you apply for credit in the last 3 months, wait till it's been like 91 days, then apply. The Apple Card you can also pre-qualify for. You can pre-approve, and you can apply with no impact to your credit score. Like, see your credit limit and everything. This is a card that gives high limits. It doesn't matter if your credit is not the greatest. If you're in the 600s and if you're 630, you can get the card. That's not a high score. And remember, you were like 400 or 500 when you started this. You put some positive accounts on your credit report. That shit shot you up 100 and some points. Now you can start looking at cards like the Apple Card, right? Another card I would say is, or another bank I would say go to, which is the last one I really want to talk about, is Chase. And if you go to Chase, if you just look up Chase pre-qualify, or is it pre-approval? Chase pre-approval. See if you have pre-approved offers. They actually have their pre-approval tool up right now, right here. You can click get started and go to Chase pre-approval. They will pre-approve you for any of their cards. And I talked about this in one of my other videos, but if you can get a mid credit score, like I said, if your credit is low, I just showed you the positive accounts to add to your credit profile. And then you go to Chase, you put those accounts on, and then your score is probably like 640, 650 ish. Go to Chase's pre-approval. Open a Chase bank account. Open a bank account with Chase. Develop a relationship with them. And that pre-approval with Chase is pretty accurate. It was accurate for me, and when I talked to them, they said it's pretty accurate. And here's the thing with that I've seen firsthand. You can have a mid 600 credit score and not only be pre-approved for the Chase Sapphire, and with no high limit cards previously, with no high limit, like when I like, bro, trust me when I say this, I know it. I've seen it. You can have your previous highest credit card limit be like $500. Go to Chase and they will pre-approve you for 10 bands, pre-approve you for it. So like some people say, go to Navy Federal, get the secure card, or they say do the Navy Federal pledge loan, wait 6 months, pay that off. You can do that, but I would say it's faster with Chase, and Chase doesn't care about DTI. I believe Navy Federal cares about debt to income. Chase doesn't give a fuck if you have student loans, bro. Chase will approve you with collections and a mid 600 credit score. As long as you have a profile that shows you've been paying this on time, this on time, this on time, you shot your score up from putting those accounts. And I'm telling you, everybody's so focused on a credit score. Your credit score is just a reflection of your credit profile. Sometimes they line up, sometimes they don't. But your credit profile is always was going to be more important. They can see your score for free. The reason they hard pull it is because they're going over your profile to see if you seem like the kind of person they want to lend to. So once you put a bunch of positive accounts, and yes, like I said, it's going to cost some money to put all of them positive accounts. It's going to cost you probably a couple $100, $200, $300. So what? You're guaranteed to get a $5,000 card if you get a Sapphire Preferred. I was pre-approved for the Sapphire Reserve with Chase. I just didn't take it. I wasn't ready for all that. And the Sapphire Reserve is guaranteed 10 bands. I'm telling you, I went from having shitty credit to 6 months later getting like shitty credit with collections, with student loans, all of that shit, to 6 months later getting pre-approved for 10,000 minimum cards. I'm not saying this shit for no reason. I'm telling y'all this for sure. So if you have bad credit right now, you want to get high limit credit cards within the next 3 months, within the next 6 months, this is what I would do. This is the path. Like I said, I would do the Navy Federal Secure card because I know after 6 months, I'm guaranteed to have a $2,000 card no matter what. As long as you don't fuck that card off in 6 months. Yeah, put a bunch of positive accounts on your credit. There's more than just Ava and Stellify. There's like Credit Strong, Kickoff Self. There's a bunch of those. You can look them up. There's a ton of them. Put some of those on there. You want to have like 8 or more positive accounts on your credit report. So pay the little $10 a month, a little whatever the little fee is. Pay it. Put that positive account. Pay it every month. Pay it every month. And then after a couple months, your score is gonna shoot the fuck up. And if you report rent and backdate it, there's at least 4 places you can report rent on your credit to show I've been paying this on time. Oh, that's the other thing about rent reporting that I didn't mention earlier. Here's a little nugget. Thanks for watching this far into the video. When you report rent, there are multiple ways to verify it or prove it. They don't always call your landlord. Some of them never call your landlord, but I've done it in the way that you can link your online portal to pay your rent. That's one way to do it. Some people don't pay their rent online though. Another way to do it is you can show them your lease. So I didn't have an online rent paying portal at the time because the way we paid our rent didn't work that way when I was reporting my rent. So I was like, hey, I can give you the website. I can give you the landlord's phone number, the website. He's the property manager, basically. He's not a landlord. He's a property manager. I can give you the property manager's phone number, his website with the property listed, and I can show you our lease. I gave them all of that information, and then they approved me to report my rent. Cool. But here's the thing. I could have made all that shit up. Just keeping it stacked. I could have just fucking made it up. I could have wrote out a lease myself. I could have made a little website myself or linked to any website and just gave them a phone number for me, an alternate phone number for me and said, yeah, I'm the landlord and I verified them. Boom. You could just do that. Now, I'm not like, you know what I mean? Some people will say that's morally wrong or whatever. I don't really give a fuck. It's about y'all want this money or not. It's not illegal. It's not illegal to lie to somebody. It's not illegal to lie to a private company, right? This rent reporting agency is not the police. It's not illegal to lie to them. The credit reporting bureaus are not the police. It's not illegal to lie to them. I'm not saying just run around lying to everybody, but I'm saying if you want to report rent, say I've been paying 4 bands a month, 3 bands a month for the past 2 years, and you want to just type up a little fucking, what is it? Damn, I forgot the word. Lease. Type up a new lease and just say, hey, here's the lease. Even though you typed it up, here's the landlord's phone number. It's just like a fucking Google Voice phone number that you use. So when they call, if they call the landlord, it's you. and then you give them like an email to verify it's you. Like, you can fleece it if you want, you can finesse it if you want. That's just, an extra nugget. And I know some people are going, oh, I don't want to do that. That seems shady or wrong. Cool, enjoy being broke then. Like, stop worrying about, like, in the business world, in the finance world, these companies, everybody's getting fucked over somewhere. You can either do the fucking or be getting fucked. It's up to you. Like I said, I didn't do that personally because I didn't have to. I didn't like it wasn't that I'm above doing it. I just didn't need to do it. I was able to verify that I've been paying rent for 2 years. I've been doing it, so I didn't need to do that. But for the people that are like, damn, I haven't been paying rent 2 years, but I really want to do this. Hey, buddy, there's a method for you. Just to kind of put you on a little game. It is what it is. And like I said, it's not illegal to lie to people. It's not illegal to lie to a company. There's no crime you can be charged for just saying, like, it's not a legal document. It's not forgery. It's not fraud. There's no crime. Motherfuckers is gonna say it's fraud. It's not fraud. Like, learn what fraud is, bro. But don't do fraud. If something is fraud, don't do fraud. But anyway, last nugget before I get out of here. When you apply for these credit cards, any credit cards in general, don't lie and say, like, let's say they're gonna ask your income, right, to determine your credit limit. They're gonna ask you how much money you make. Now, don't lie and be like, I make $30,000 a year working at Starbucks. I'm gonna say I make $3 million. Don't do no stupid shit like that. Don't do that. But estimate. Remember, it's a rough estimate. It's an rough estimate of your gross annual income, right? Like, I'm gonna give you some examples. Don't just make some bullshit up. Have some real ground behind it. Let's say you work at Starbucks, you work 40 hours a week or whatever. Let's just say you make 30 grand a year, right? That's what you make at Starbucks. Gross. That's a horrible income. Don't ever put that on a credit card application. I would never put less than 60K. Now, I make more than that, but I would never put less than 60K. You don't want to put over 100 because they might want to check. But I would say put 60, 70, 80. That's what I would say. But here's the thing. Let's say you don't make that, but you want to put that much on your application and not feel like you're lying or committing fraud because you're lying about your income. Totally hear you. You can do one of two things. You can get a second job. You can start interviewing for second jobs. You can start a side hustle and say, okay, I'm projecting that I'm going to make this much. Remember, it's an estimate. It's a projection. They're not expecting you to have the hardcore. They're not saying, pull out your W-2 and show me what you made last year. They're saying, hey, give us a gross estimate of what you're going to make or what you're making in a year. Do you anticipate a raise? Let's say you might get $1 raise. And then let's say this is my hourly wage. Let's assume I'm going to work 40 hours a week at this wage. Plus I'm getting $1 raise. So then it's like, what am I getting with this raise at that wage, 40 hours a week full time? Or maybe I work overtime. Let's assume, take your busiest week, your paycheck with the most hours, base it off that week, and then times it by 52 weeks in a year, and use your gross income, right? And you can use, like, if you're living with somebody like that you share bills with, you can use their income. It doesn't have to be just the 20,000 you take home. That's not shit. So, like, keep that in mind when you do these credit card applications. And when you talk to them, they're going to try to do this for you. They're going to say, how can I stretch this number out? So don't think of it as like, oh, I'm cheating, I'm lying. It's like, that's what they're going to do because they want to get you approved. So think about it that way. But anyway, yeah, that's how you get high limit credit cards. When you have bad credit, you go from bad credit to mid credit, and then when you have mid credit, you can really get the cards. But it's how to get to mid credit from bad credit, and then what cards to go for. There's some other ones too you can try, but these are the ones that I know the best. But anyway, just stay focused, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm out of here. Enjoy the luxurious view on this yacht. Remember, we always thinking luxury. We always thinking futuristic. We always thinking of beautiful scenery. That's what we going for in 2025. Y'all stay safe. I'm out.